What are you watching over there?
This was just sent to me. I guess we can get into this. He sent me this video. Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back
To
episode 47.
47. Holy cow.
Shoo.
Remember when we used to be like, welcome back to episode 4. Didn't think we'd make it. Drop all this money on this podcast equipment. Every episode I was like, I didn't think we'd get here.
Yeah, sitting in wheelchairs.
Yeah. Honestly, never thought it never crossed my mind they look like wheelchairs until someone said it. And I was like, oh, for sure, wheelchairs. Yeah. We could have been just doing one of these. But now I have to show you this. I went to, we had a jiu-jitsu seminar today at the gym. So a guy who's like been a world champion, pretty famous in the world of jiu-jitsu, came in and he did a seminar with us. It was really cool. Super cool dude. Crazy to see, like, we have like athletic competitive guys at our gym, and then there's just like always like a tier above that where like you're never going to try something on this guy that he doesn't know. He's like just so good, and then he's just like at the top, but then he's been beat by guys, so it's just like, I don't know, it's just crazy how many levels there are to things. But anyways, this guy just sent me this video because the way these seminars work is everyone, so there'll be 50 people in the room or whatever, and you all circle up, and then he'll explain things and instruct in the middle, and he'll have like a person that he's instructing on. So if he's teaching a choke, he'll be demoing it on a person, whatever. So he was doing it on like Dustin for a while during the no-gi session, and then sometimes it's hard to learn when you're the guy getting choked because you're just getting choked or a move is being done to you, and there's so many little aspects to it, and you can't really see it because your vantage point is like just looking up into this dude's crotch or something like that. And so it's hard to tell. So he was like, let me give Dustin a break. And he's pretty tall. He's like, I want to get somebody like my size. So he was like, can you come out here? So I'm laying on this mat, and he was going through these arm bar like variations. And I mean, he can hit arm bars from anywhere, but he was teaching it from what's called S mount. So S mount is basically like you would sit your legs like in an S where one's it's kind of hard to explain, but basically your legs are kind of like that, and you're sitting all your weight on top of them. So he's like flattening you out, and then he sits in S mount, and basically like all of his weight is like on my sternum, dude. And he was like explaining things, cracking jokes, telling stories, whatever. And I bet he weighs like 220 something. And I mean, a full 10 minutes, dude. He's sitting on my sternum.
Is this video him sitting on your sternum?
It's like part of it. I'm trying to think. I mean, basically, there's he's sending me multiple videos. I have to watch it to make sure it's not like, not going to make sense. But basically, I'm in this position for minutes, dude, and I'm like kind of sweating. At one point, it's hard to breathe, obviously. And so at one point, I'm just kind of like trying to breathe, and I'm like, kind of like doing like that. And he's like, "You good?" And he's like, "My diet's not been very good. Sorry." Anyways, like I'm just like, okay, wrap it up. But no, it was good. It was a lot of fun. But and he liked I designed a poster for it that he likes. So he's like, maybe we can work together. So it'd be cool.
Nice. Got some freelance jobs out of that. Networking, always networking.
Yeah, maybe.
Always.
But he's a cool dude. So it'd be fun to work with him regardless of the money aspect of it. It'd be fun to work with somebody like that. But
it's never been about the money for me.
Really? I feel like it's almost exclusively.
Yeah, probably.
About the money.
Last night I watched first of all, I was about to get into, I watched the Jake Paul fight, but before we get into that, because there's plenty of content there, I went to my first rodeo last night.
Wow. So that was your first rodeo?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but...
You only get to make that joke once. This actually is my first rodeo.
That's true. That's true. I actually didn't make it there, which is kind of a missed.
That sucks.
But
That's like when we did the Halloween episode and I dressed as Gru and I didn't even say, that's what I'm talking about. And then I said it after we were done filming. That was tough. Missed up.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was one of those things where you walk in, the line for them to scan your tickets to get in was basically just like probably a hallway as wide as like this room, but like the hallway then extended up and it was just like a ramp. So instead of
Where was this? Was it in like?
It was in Louisville in the Freedom Hall.
Oh yeah.
So like, have you ever been in there?
Yeah, Louisville used to play basketball there.
Right, they used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where we were for the car show?
Yes, and that's where we saw Toby Mac that time.
Oh,
when he was like sang that song and he
But
was like, "I'm coming out swing," and he kept doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, why? Who are you gonna fight like that?
But yeah, so they have like those ramps all around, like on like the corners, I think, just instead of like stairs or whatever. So basically the line was just like these huge ramps, and you're just like in these crowds of people, everybody just like decked out, and like obviously I'm sure not everybody's like super country there, like I was there, but there's like some people with like some hard twang talking around
Not
us,
their
dude.
first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I was like obviously we sat like shoulder to shoulder for a while, like in this line, but it wasn't. It was just kind of like it fit the vibe because we weren't like in like nice lines. It was basically just like if you wanted to try to run around people, you could. Like,
Really?
Yeah. But
So
that wasn't like a big deal. I was just saying it was interesting because then even once we got in, it just felt like I was more trying to like act like I had been to a rodeo before. Like I didn't dress like country or anything. It was just
Did you
like
see some cowboy hats?
I was just trying to. Did I see cowboy hats at a rodeo? I did. But
so they like where, because they turn those arenas into whatever. So I guess it's just like where a basketball court was, but they just dirt the whole thing.
it was pretty sick. So we were on the side of, so they do like multiple events. They don't just do like bull riding or like you can go to like a bull riding.
They do like lasso and stuff, right?
Yeah. So like they'll do like I think it's I don't even know if lasso's in it. It's like breakaway lasso maybe, and then they do like the normal lasso where a calf will run out, and then they have like steer wrestling where they start on horses and
like
jump
that
off
one.
the horse.
I like that one.
That one's cool. And then they have like the barrel racing where they didn't have men. I don't know if it was only women just there or if it's always like that. I don't know, but there was like a women's barrel race, which was actually pretty sick.
Like on a horse or women just running around?
No, they're on horses.
barrels.
They're on horses, but it was what was cool about it, which is like it was pretty interesting because like it was just like so fast paced. Because like for example, if like we saw bull riding, that was like what they end with, because that's like what everybody wants to see. It's the main event. But like once a dude falls off a bull, they have to like get the bull back into like the cages or whatever. So it like takes a second. But for these barrel races, dude, they start from like under basically like the walkout of like from where a basketball team would come. That's where they start, so you can't see them. And then they just like come flying out, run around one barrel, run around the other, run around the last one, and then fly out the same way because they're trying to like obviously get the fastest time. And then like the second that one goes out, another one comes and it's a
just
new
constant
girl.
action.
Yeah, it literally just like it was constant, and it's like every time you look at the screen, it's like so and so, and like say their earnings and everything.
What was it, like 40 cents?
Dude, I was like,
Put your life on the line.
I
and
was
you
like,
can get
no, literally,
Chick-fil-A.
I was like clowning on them, and some of the people in a row were like, "That's a lot." I was like, "Is it to live in America though?" Like, I feel like we need more than that. It was like most of these people were like in like the 15,000 range.
Yeah.
From like it was like 2024 earnings, which again they're earning
15,000 for the year.
That's what that's what it was saying.
Oh, shot. I
not
guess
all
if
of
you
them.
just work, but
No,
if you got to travel,
No, but what the people were
and
saying,
lug a bull around,
the people in my those I'm talking about
No, did you say
the barrel racing.
horses?
Barrel racing is just horses. Bull riding though also there were some 15,000s. There was a lot of in bull racing there was a lot of like 35,000. But no, I was getting told that like apparently that's not the only thing they make money from. I still didn't really understand it because I was like, okay, even if they're doing more races, the screen said like total 2024 earnings. So I don't know. Maybe they're getting a bunch of money from sponsors or something. I don't know. But
did you ever watch
it was
those?
pretty cool.
One of the most famous bull riders like of all time. His name's JB Mounty or something.
Is that the one that got paralyzed from that bull?
No, he's not. He's not paralyzed. But
Like he could still walk, but he broke his back.
Yeah,
I know.
He had
yeah.
to stop. He's like
And
the
then he-
most country cowboy. Just
Yeah.
smokes cigarettes and
Yeah, he technically
he's-
did get like he's like paralyzed in like one of his arms or something. I think.
it was something. I think what happened was he maybe broke his back, and they said like he was really risking like death or paralysis if he was to ride again. So he's like, I got to hang it up. But no, one time we were watching it was kind of a rerun of it, I think, but we were on vacation watching it. Do you remember this, Megan? And bull riding came on, and it was the time he was in the stall or whatever they call it before, they get set and then they open the gate and they go out. Well, the bull bucked him forward in the stall, and it slammed his head into the metal forward, and then he fell down under the bull in the stall trapped, and they had to like get down in there, like let the bull out and get down in there and get him, whatever. I mean, like could have easily died because he was one of those guys that just wore a cowboy hat because he's like such a purist with it.
So he wasn't wearing
didn't
a
even
helmet.
have a helmet
Oh
on.
my goodness. Yeah, they all had helmets when
That stuff is crazy.
we were
though.
there. Some of them had a cowboy hat over their helmet, but like they didn't
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
They all had helmets on, and most of them had like full gear. Some of them had like full
They'll have like hockey, like face masks.
chest.
on
Yeah, they had
sometimes,
that,
yeah.
and then like some of them had like big like chest gear. Like
Yeah.
it was just like almost looked like a Kevlar vest or something.
Yeah, that's what I think they would recommend you wear. But guys that are just like they want to be
Nothing
cowboys.
Nothing crazy really happened like injury wise. One dude like limped off because I think he just like as he was falling off, like his entire body fell off except his like far ankle, and so he like for a second he like got jerked just by his ankle. Like the bull kept bucking,
I don't know
and
how
he was,
you
like,
don't die.
dangled
every
for a
time.
second by his ankle, so he like limped off. But other than that, it was I know. Well,
They
dude,
act so relaxed about it. I'm like, if I was in a ring with a bull with horns and all that, like I would think there's like 50-50 shot of survival on some of that stuff. And
Well-
these guys are just like, they just got those clowns running around. Just
Have you seen? Did they do something at that rodeo where like they do games with the audience, where they like have like they bring people into the ring and whoever can like and they'll let out
wish.
a
I've seen that.
bull
I've
and
seen that.
whoever can like stay in the ring the longest gets money.
Oh, I'm about to show you this. My sister sent me this. And yes,
I've seen those.
Dude,
They didn't do
Like if the bull doesn't like
watch.
buck you.
They have to stay inside a hula hoop, and the last one
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
the
Yeah,
hula
that's
hoop
like what I'm talking about.
gets $100. Look at this. And
$15,000.
look, more than half of these people
No, they're getting destroyed.
wait, like if the bull's coming at you, step to the side. It's not like you're going to stand your ground. The bull's not going to hit you. They're just staying in the ring getting flipped by this bull.
Yeah. There wasn't any crazy stuff like that.
Look, he just stands there. Gets
Oh
thrown
my,
up
that
in
guy
the
got
air and flipped. Now the
destroyed.
bull's stepping on him.
Stepping on him?
I don't know
what's
why you
crazy,
would
no,
do
you walked
that.
away. What's crazy is, yeah, the stepping, the getting like stomped on is got to be like, that would be like my biggest fear because even when we were there, again, nothing happened, which is crazy. Like you think it happened more often, but like there were multiple times where like everybody in the crowd was like, oh, whoa, whoa, because he would get bucked off and he lands right in front of the bull. And
Yeah.
if the bull would have taken a step 1 foot to the left, it would have been through his chest. But it was like they just didn't. Like I don't know. It was like, and again, I don't know how much those like vests that they're wearing can really like displace the
Yeah.
Like
It probably
wait.
just keeps the horn from going through you. You still probably feel a lot.
Dude,
of
that's what I'm
pressure.
saying though. You're not worried about the freaking horn. He wasn't trying to like hit him with his head. He was like stomping up and down.
Stomped on.
Oh yeah.
How much does that thing weigh?
Probably still gonna feel a little pressure.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know
Like
how
that guy
much,
sitting on your chest.
how much can that
Yeah,
vest
that's what
do?
I felt like today, dude. At least the stomp is quick. That guy was telling his life story on my chest. I used to watch a lot of bull riding when I was younger with
It's
my
cool.
dad, but I don't really anymore. But when we moved out of the house that I was born in, we spent like a few months in an apartment while our next house was being built, and we didn't have enough bedrooms. So like my parents had a room, my sister had a room, and then I was kind of a floater. And we had like a twin mattress we would pull out into the living room floor, and I would sleep on that. And some nights my dad would sleep on that with me. I'd have like campouts. I was like 4 or 5, and we would have like campouts. But a lot of times bull riding was on the TV at night. But we didn't call it bull riding. Have I told you this, Megan? I don't know. We called it shot in your shorts.
What?
We would say, I would say like, can we have a camp out? We'll watch. Can we watch Shot in Your Shorts tonight? I think one of the.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I don't. Are you? You're saying shot in your
shorts. I think one time, one of the announcers
think I know
said
what
something
you're
like that when a bull like got him or something, and we just
We got
called it
shot in your
shorts.
Dude, I wish
Like where I thought bull riding was called shot in your shorts for a long time.
I wish I would have written down some of the sayings that the host or whatever you want to call him was. One dude was just on the mic for 2.5 hours, and every single time something happens, he gives some southern like phrase about what just happened. Like,
Oh, dude, can I bring some closure to our last episode? When you guys made me sound like I was crazy for the little kid saying like break the gate.
okay, yeah, wait, but first say what you said last time.
Break the gate. You're too late.
What does that mean?
No, this is what you do with little
In
kids.
the hole.
You say, give me 5.
You want me to do it?
Give me 5. On the side. Break the gate. You're too late. And then Evelyn thinks
What was
it's
the
hilarious.
last one though?
Give me 5. On the side. In the hole.
Nah, see that one's crazy.
Put it in the hole. You're too slow.
That one doesn't even rhyme.
Put it in the hole. You're too slow.
In the hole?
You're too slow.
Yeah. I had to call my dad and say, hey, what was the first part of the in the hole
Also,
thing?
that didn't change anything. You just said let's clear it up, and you just did it again.
No, because last week, remember, I was like, what's the first part? And it's give me 5 on the side. I was like, how do you get into it before you just ask them to put something in the hole? But they're always too slow.
Yeah, just a random game. I don't know. But no, the phrases of that dude were crazy.
Anyways,
Also, side note, there was this. This made me think of it because the way we were sitting in the arena, it was like directly. We were like diagonal, or on a corner, I guess. So like the bull riding was kind of like we were in a diagonal view of it, and so the table was to our left, like the commentators or whatever. And at one point they ran out and were like, we're gonna throw like merch at y'all or whatever. And it was just like 4 like, I don't know, like late 30s, early 40 moms
let's
that
go.
just ran out into the dirt and they all went into like each corner, and
Couldn't make it past the first
here's
row.
Here's the thing though.
Maybe not.
only-
I don't mean that.
Here's the thing. Not only would you think, okay, maybe like they might not have the best arm,
Just give them a cannon.
but we are at a rodeo, which means there's dirt,
Poop.
then there's a
probably.
big wall, then there's commentators' tables, then there's a alleyway between the tables, and then the first set of seats. So they basically have to get it past what would normally be one section just to get it to the first section.
yeah.
We watched a girl throw it into the commentator's face 4 times.
4 times.
4 times.
Why not give them one of them cannons?
I don't know, dude. At one point, so first of all, I'm watching
Or
her.
have someone
What was
else
it, a t-shirt?
throw it.
First of all, they were no. This is where she went wrong.
It's just a foam bowl.
She threw a t-shirt, or sorry, she threw a t-shirt first, and it hit the wall of the like little alleyway. It's literally where the bulls and like the horses will walk sometimes. And she hit that, which is like the first row is right there, and so they would like reach for it. She hit it. She's like and then she went back, grabbed a hat this time. Tried to just throw
Hat's
it.
going nowhere.
Tried to just throw the hat tomahawk. That didn't work. It literally hit the
Straight down.
it hit the commentator in the face. He was looking at his papers. I'm not making it up. And it was like the main host guy that was like, "Man, that was bigger than something." Like, he makes some phrase up, and
It's just like,
dude, literally hit him in the face. Then she goes back again, so she's 0 for 2 now. I'm just counting at this point. She picks up. She tries frisbee throw hat. Yes.
Is it like a cowboy hat or like a baseball
No,
hat?
it was just like a flat bill almost looking like thing. And she just kept trying to frisbee him. Anyway, she didn't get one to the first row until her 5th throw.
She's just throwing them away.
that announcer guy
and
made
by
out.
that
He got
time-
a ton of stuff.
Dude, no, literally the
Bull
comment.
comes out with one of them on
Dude,
his
the people on the tables were like trying to throw them behind them because they were just all landing on the table.
This is making me think of like Parks and Rec while she's throwing it. It's just like, just the song is like, "Get on your feet,
Yeah, literally, dude.
get
It was so
up
bad.
and make
And
it
I think she
happen."
eventually got like 2 of the articles of clothing to the stands, and then it was like, "That's all the time we."
We've thrown away all our merch.
All the people were like, "What?"
Goodness, that's awful.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Do you ever go to things like that are kind of outside your norm, and you're like, you just think like, what if I like, what if I did get a cowboy hat or something? What if I got into this a little bit?
I wasn't thinking, what if I got into this now? I was thinking,
Like, should I
though,
get a cowboy hat?
I was thinking though, it's pretty crazy how this is just not crazy, but like interesting how this is just some people's lives. Like they travel around and tour, and they like, it was pretty cool. We were on the side where they have like basically like a maze of cages where they'll open and close doors. So like when a steer gets when they like let the steer loose on that side, the steers literally get like, they do this so often that after they get like tied up and like or cinched or whatever by the lasso, they literally just see the opening and they know that they're supposed to go out the other way because they like do it so much.
That's so sad.
They're just like,
It is kind of
and
sad.
scene.
I know, literally, and they like run out. But like, it was pretty cool to be on that side because you were like right next to where they're like they would hold the horses, or like then they switched them out and held like the bulls there, and then like you'd watch them go through like the little maze to get to like the like stall or wherever where the bull got like where the bull rider gets on them. It was pretty cool.
Do you think that's a good life for a bull? I mean, we're talking about bull riding for minutes, a long time here. You think that's a better life for
My pants are really
one of
dirty
those
from the fall.
calves or a bull or whatever? Like, would they rather just graze in a field or have to
Probably.
go buck these guys off their back all the time?
I don't
or like the
know.
one that's just like this little animal or calf or whatever just gets to run, and then some white man just tackles it repeatedly.
Dude, that's
And
not
you
even,
know they're not nice to it in the back. Those guys aren't like, good boy. Like, it's not those kind of guys.
also, have you seen
Those guys probably spit on
Have you
those.
seen this like the steer wrestling? You know like the
Yeah.
rules of how they stop,
How they stop?
like how you score.
You have to like wrangle it to the ground, right?
Yeah, but so like I think I don't know if this is like the exact definition, but like just from watching it, the timer would stop whenever the calf hit its back. So you basically have to get their feet off the ground, and the
And
easiest
just slam it.
the easiest way to do that is to crank their neck.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just like if you were to like crank my arm back, I'm gonna like go with you because it feels bad.
Yeah.
And so they literally just grab one side of like the front of their nose and then like grab the other and just crank it, and
I have seen.
the calf just goes crazy. But no, dude, that's not even the word. The one that looks the most like they're beating that calf up is like the hog tie. It's where they
they tie the feet.
Dude, they literally, it's insane. They train the horse to, when they jump off the horse like slam stop. And so they lasso the calf, which is running at a full speed.
Just take its legs out from under it.
Literally, basically, as they're lassoing it, they jump off their horse. Their horse immediately starts backpedaling. And so sometimes this calf would get launched backwards. And then they run over to the calf and body slam it to get it to where its legs are up. And then they tie it. It's insane.
You know, animal rights activists are not loving the rodeo scene.
Sorry, but it was very fun to watch. It was pretty cool. Yeah, not I would say the animal cruelty people would not enjoy that, but
They're not
some
getting
of those
eaten.
guys had pretty good form body slams on those calves. Some of them I was like, okay, that was, you didn't have to do all that. Like, you didn't have to pick them up all the way. You could have just rolled him over. You purposely stood all the way up and then dropped him.
Speaking of pretty good bodies, did you see Mike Tyson's butt?
Ew.
Okay.
That was a wild transition, but yes, I did watch the fight.
Were we supposed to see that?
I don't know. What's funny is I watched, so obviously I was at the rodeo, but then when we got home, we got in time, like when we sat down, there was like 15 minutes until the fight or something. So
Oh, that's nice.
it was pretty nice, but I actually didn't see that until, so the
I
fight,
saw it live.
the fight actually ends. I'm just on my phone. All of a sudden, I'm just seeing these memes that are blowing up. But it was never a meme where it showed it. It was just like these memes of like, why did I just see a grown man's butt? I was like, I literally watched all 8 rounds. I was like, nobody's butt was out. What are they even talking about? And so I like forgot about it. And then I literally woke up this morning and saw it for the first time. So
Yeah. We saw
Pretty
it
wild.
We
live.
saw it live.
The announcer lady, after they like cut back to her, she just goes, could have done without the butt shot.
no way
Yes.
she says that. Those announcers are kind of nuts.
So like it like
They
came
were
on the
saying random
screen
stuff.
and they like try to zoom in to like get it out of the
Oh, yeah.
frame. But the crazy thing was he was just like, his son was like the one interviewing him. He's just talking to his son, turns and walks away, and just his butt is out.
Wait, his son? I thought he was talking to a reporter.
His son was
It was his
reporting-
son.
was interviewing.
Oh,
him.
that was his son?
Yes.
like a mirror or
And
whatever.
he says like, love you, dad. And he's like, love you. And then he turns, walks away, and his butt is just
Right,
out.
yeah. I
like
saw
gives a
it.
little hug and a kiss, and his dad's full butt is out. Like, suit up, Dad.
What like
He's just walking
what
around like
was
that.
is that like a boxing thing?
I think it's like the things they wear under their trunks. So I think on the front it's like the protection here,
You're right.
and then there's
He just
obviously
wasn't
not
wearing
much on
his
the
trunks.
back.
Just a thong.
Yeah, how
Also, did you see him at the weigh-in
feel though? Yeah, I saw that.
when he just grabbed himself? Why did he do that?
I don't know.
It was
He also
strange.
went for a bit of a like down low shot after he slapped Jake. You see that?
No, I thought he was like pointing to the ground.
It looks like he was going for
That's
a
what I
punch.
said.
Oh, I have no idea then.
It looked
It
like
looks
he
like
was
he-
trying to punch him.
And they pull him away right as it happened.
Slaps him in the face, punches him in the groin.
he was just like the whole entire time he was just like neutralized.
I thought he slapped him in the face and then pointed down like, don't crawl up to me like that or whatever.
Oh, I didn't see a finger. I just saw a fist.
I don't know. I thought it was a finger, but I'm so confused on what's what now.
Yeah. It's just so many
Yeah, I don't know.
things being shown.
It was
from
kind of
Mike
a sad
Tyson.
fight.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
The fact that we ever thought it was going to be real competitive was kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's everyone, the amount of publicity around it and like everyone talking almost is just like sometimes annoying because it's everyone's talked about it 100 times. Like Jake Paul obviously isn't fighting people that are his age, but then again, he's getting millions of people to watch it. So why does that matter? Like that's like,
I got nothing against Jake Paul. I'm just saying nothing against Mike Tyson. It's just I don't feel like Mike Tyson's in his prime. And then he kept biting his glove. Did you see that? And
I know he looked kind of like psychotic about that.
They asked him about it afterwards, and he was like,
"Oh, it's just a tick."
He was like, I got a biting tendency or something like that.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Also, why was he giving one word answers and he would just hold the mic, the guy?
Because I don't think he cares about what people think. He's just like, he's not trying to like promote or sell anything.
Well, he doesn't have to be, but he was like asking him like genuine questions. Like, do you think were you happy with the way you did? And he's like, yes, very happy.
Yeah.
And then he just stopped. And he's like, okay, I'll ask you next question now. Like, it was just, I don't know. But
No, I thought he was pretty adamant he was only doing it for money.
Oh, yeah. And to just like.
I mean, yeah, but he
Like-
obviously
prove to
trained,
himself
though.
that he was.
I know, but like I saw this other interview with him where they like asked him about legacy and stuff, and he was literally like, legacy is just a made up word we use now. I'm gonna die and then I'm gonna be dead, and who's gonna talk about me? Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dead. And he's like, I don't care about any of that.
Yeah. Also, though, sometimes he says he doesn't care so much. I'm like, hey, do you care just a lot? And you're just like saying that because
I think maybe he has taken some damage.
he's talked like that before he started boxing, though.
Right, but like, yeah, I think yeah, that's true.
He did.
I think he's been damaged for a while.
You're like, he was damaged, but it wasn't even from his entire legendary boxing career.
I think if you own like a full grown tiger, you just have like, you're a little bit off. You have like no, I think that's what makes good fighters sometimes is when they like they're not able to have the awareness of like what could go wrong.
Maybe, yeah.
So they're just like
They bite somebody's ear.
try anything and do anything. Oh, I feel like we haven't talked in a while. I went on a bachelor party.
Yeah.
That was fun. Went out of town for that. There's a few funny things that happened. I was on so two of them involved a flight. On the plane ride there. Huh?
How long? You said those flights were like 3 hours or something?
Yeah, roughly 2.5, 3 hours. On the way there, though, I sat next to this guy, and he was just kind of like, just like a normal guy, but kind of like, I don't know, a little rough around the edges, but a fine guy. And we started talking, and he was like getting a connector flight to go back to Mississippi to play in like just a foursome golf outing.
Oh.
He called it a golf tournament. So I'm like, oh, is this guy like competitive golfer? And then by the time we got into it, he was just going to play in like a scramble. So I was like, oh, cool. I guess it's one he does every year with his friend. So, but we got along fine. We were like talking, whatever. And then we eventually got to like our kids. And he was, I told him, I got like a young daughter, and you got any kids? And he's like, yeah, I got a 14 and a 16-year-old. And he's like, I'm to the point now I'm having to like fend these boys off because I guess 2 daughters. And I was like, or at least one daughter, maybe the 14-year-old was his daughter. And he was like, yeah, she's dating this guy now. And he's like, I'm like, oh yeah, you like him, whatever. He's like, I can't complain. He doesn't, he said, I can't complain. He doesn't scream at her or hit her, so he's a good guy.
Some good qualities.
And I said,
What a standard.
I said, oh, it's a pretty low standard. And he was like, well, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, he was not joking. He was saying like,
You don't think he was joking?
no. Because he kind of like got taken back when I said, that's pretty low bar. He was like, he doesn't scream at her or hit her. So I'm like, do you hit her?
Yeah. Do you hit your wife?
Hit your wife?
Yeah.
What do you do to
The
your
only
wife?
way that you would let anything like that slide is if you hit your wife.
He's like,
or your
son.
daughter.
He's like, I just don't want you to be like me.
Bro, and then we were there all weekend. We get back to the airport, and I'm waiting at the terminal. He's on the same flight back.
Nice.
Comes up, stands right next to me, and then goes, oh, hey. Like, definitely knew it was.
I hate that. Those are the worst. Okay, let's talk about that. Those interactions, or even when you just see somebody that you know in like the grocery store or something, and you're like, okay, I'm probably going to see them, maybe even if you turn into the aisle, you were like already planning on going down this aisle. So like when you're turning into an aisle, you're not like looking and then starting to walk. Like you're going into the aisle. But like if you go into an aisle and there's like somebody you know, obviously it's different if it's like a close friend or something. But I'm talking about the people who are like maybe someone you don't know, like that example, or just like someone who you like. I'm thinking of like somebody from high school that I had like a class with that we both know each other's names. We both know who each other are, but like I would never run up to him in public or him or her and be like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
So it was like that awkward thing of like, okay, how do I introduce myself? And that interaction, when people do that, it just makes it so much more awkward. Like I would rather just someone come up and like tap me on the shoulder, or like literally shove me and be like, "What's up?" Instead of like acting like it was a natural. They're faking
like
the
they don't
natural
see
experience.
I had both
Faking the natural
at
experience.
the same time one time. Like
How?
4 years after we graduated high school. So we were approaching the end of college, or maybe we were just out of college. I was on a golf course and a group behind us caught up to us on the next tee box. And it was 4 guys that I went to some middle school with in all 4 years of high school. Very familiar with each other. I knew who all 4 of them were. One of them came up and they were like, "Oh, dang, is that Blake?" Whatever. Like, so I wasn't close to any of them, but very aware who each other were, and we had talked and stuff. So on the one hand, 3 of them acted like we were best friends. Like, dude, awesome. And I'm like, that was like something that happened after high school, guys that were like too cool. Now all of a sudden they see you out and they want to act like you were way closer than you were.
Which I'd rather that though than like
the fourth guy
or the faking natural
gets out of the golf cart and walks up, who I went to 5 years of school with, and put his hand out and was like, "Hey, I'm Nathan." Like, we've never met. And I just shook his hand, was like, "Hey, I'm Blake."
You didn't say anything?
The other guys didn't say anything?
I'm not trying to. I guess they were just like, how did they never meet? I don't know.
What was his name?
Nathan?
They're
Like they were like, you didn't meet him?
Nathan, this is, you know, Mike. They're like, Nathan, we had a class together for 3 years.
Granted, at the time, I've changed in looks from
It's like we were in
high
English
school.
class.
Over those 4 years, I felt like I looked different or got some facial hair or whatever. Because the one guy was like, "Dude, I didn't even recognize you almost, but knew who I was." So maybe there was a little bit of that, but I would think that
Once you're talking.
I know, dude.
It's cool. No one knew who I was anyway.
No, they did, because they're like, "What have you been up to?" And I was like, "I'm about to marry Megan Gard." And they were like, they were actually like, "Dude, no way." They were like, "She's so hot."
That's not true. They said, "Who?"
No, they knew who you were. So anyways, we had a interesting experience. I'll get to this first. On the way back, we're like pushing it to get back to the airport in time. You never really know how long security is going to be. And so I'm kind of wanting to get there early because there's 4 guys. I'm the only one that's not TSA pre-check. So I'm kind of like, they're chilling and kind of like not worried about it. And I'm trying to be like, "Hey, let's get to the airport." Because you never know. Security wasn't awfully long. It wasn't terrible. But dude, I go through it. They have you go through the thing. You stand like this. It's like scans you, and then you walk out. Wearing the same clothes that I flew there in. Took everything out of my pockets, whatever. I start to walk forward. The lady's like, "Sir, wait a second." And then there's like a Hispanic guy in front of me with gloves on. And he was like, "Sir, come here." And he was like, "You see the screen?" And I look at the screen that he looks at after it scans you, and it's got like an outline of a man's figure. And it's just all empty, bright red box over my crotch on the screen. Just bright red box right here.
What the heck?
I was like,
He's like,
I was like,
"Sir, you got something in your pants."
he's like, "Do you see that screen?" And I'm like, "I don't have my glasses on." So he was like, "Yeah." He was like, I'm going to have to, like, that red box indicates there's something, like, I'm going to have to do like a
Pat down.
pat down on you. And I'm like, you're going to have to do what? Like, and he's like,
what are you hiding?
I didn't have anything. I mean, he was like, would you like a private room? And I was like, no, you can just do it here. And he's like, all right, easy enough. So he like has me like pull my pants out. He's like feeling inside my waistband.
What the heck?
He's like going up all the way up each leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like has me turn around, does the same thing, and just straight up feels on my area. And I was like, and then nothing there. And he was just like, all right, you're good.
What was that?
And then I have no idea. He was like,
he's like, yeah, I can click if there's a red box.
no, he was just like, all right, easy enough,
like,
man. He's like,
this
sometimes,
guy, red box.
sometimes you get a little swamp, it'll light up. I was like, I don't have that.
What the heck?
Like, I was cold. I wasn't hot, sweaty, whatever. I have no idea what lit up. No metal.
That makes no sense.
But I'm like,
almost every time I go through,
there's got to be. How do we determine the boundary between, like, I want flights to be safe, but like there was a technical glitch and this guy had to feel my junk
I'd
for
rather,
me
I'd rather
to be
safe.
able.
I feel like there's no.
For
Yeah,
me to
there's
be able to
nothing.
go home.
You gotta
Like,
have the
your
safe.
screen lights up, so now you have to touch me or else I don't get to go home.
They had to. I had to do that
Also,
too once.
where's the line between you're just gonna give me a feel and say I'm good and a full cavity search? Because
I don't know. I'd rather just be safe. I'm sorry you had that experience, but hey, they stop me every time I go through like
do?
TSA or anything because my camera always like
oh well, yeah, that's probably,
knocks the sensor or whatever. They're like, like I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to take everything out of your bag. Dude, you don't understand. When I go on a flight, especially with my camera backpack,
you gotta get there early.
it is it is filled to the brim. Every single pocket, every single little zipper pocket, everything is filled with some sort of accessory or anything. This guy literally for I was filming for a professional fisherman. This guy took out every single accessory out of my backpack, and I was like, dude, do you actually have to, I actually kind of got upset because I was like, I spent like time like packing all of that so it would fit in the backpack. I was like,
yeah, they don't care.
If you just stuff it all back in the backpack, it's not like, I was like, I know that you have to do this, but I was like, can you at least like do it one by one so we can put it back? And then no, he just dumped it all out. And I was like, he was like trying to put it back in. He was like, oh, sorry about that. It's not like fitting. And I was like, yeah, it's because I put it in a certain way. Like, he's like
dumb.
Again, I'd rather have that though. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'd rather
This
have
guy
that for
was-
some safety.
This guy was cool. So like if it was gonna be anyone, I'm glad it was him. But it was funny though because then like other people are going through the line with me. So like there's some other people in line that watched me get, watch this go down. And there was a guy right in front of me that was watching that had like real spiky gelled hair. And I was like, I turned back to go to the lane to get my bag after I've just been, and then he is kind of laughing. And I was just like, we got kind of personal there, huh? We got kind of, yeah. And he's like, I know they flagged me because I had gel in my hair. And I was like, no way that's the same. They didn't touch you for your gel in your hair.
That's so funny you say that. I was literally about to make a joke and say, what, the gel go off?
They're just messing up his hair. Like,
I know. He's like, they had to look at my hair. I'm like, well, they touched my, I don't want to get flagged.
They gotta check it all out. I'm surprised did he only check your legs though? He didn't do like your upper body.
No, he didn't because the box was just.
I know, but like
firmly
normally,
there.
I feel like they just do like when that happened to me, and I had the red box, but it was on like my wrist, and I'm like, I have a hair tie there, but it doesn't have any metal. But then they did like they had a woman come over, but she felt all. I had my hair braided. She felt all in my braid, like felt along like my bra line, like felt like everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Are they detecting for heat or metal? I thought it was like metal.
I don't know.
But I
I haven't got that thorough of a pat down. I just
Yeah.
The last flight I was on, I got a pat down, but it was just like you're good.
Yeah.
Like you're good.
Yeah, just turn around for me. Just
doing.
I've had what
Tyson.
you had too.
What'd you say?
I've had what you had too, where they take all the stuff out of your bag. One time, because I had a wormy in my bag, like a stuffed animal. And for some reason, I think that's what showed up, and they had to like
radioactive.
bomb test it and rub strips and
They
stuff
just
on
rub
it, and like
all over your
everything,
stuffed animal.
all over my
They're
stuffed
just
animal.
like pouring water on my camera equipment. They're like, if this was real camera equipment, it would be broken by now, wouldn't it? And I'm like, they're like seeing if I'll have a reaction on who's breaking all my stuff.
They're like, if it's radioactive, it'll blow up. They're like, you're good. Camera's ruined.
One time, or it was my soap or something. I specifically remember they were like, I think we were late for something. Or I was getting nervous that we were going to be late, probably just me. And I was literally, they're like pulling stuff out. Like, I'm literally just going, you can throw it away. Just throw it away. I was like, throw that in the trash.
Yeah.
But they acted like I wasn't there.
But if you're wondering, I still hate flying. So,
Yeah.
not a great experience. But no. So we went to Texas, which is, I think, the birthplace of Buc-ee's.
Yes, it is.
And so the guys I was with.
My friend lives in the neighborhood of the owner.
Oh, cool.
Is it a large
I don't know where-
like neighborhood?
I think so.
I've
never been.
Large enough for that big old beaver, am I right? He did not want to laugh at that.
Somebody down the street has an inflatable like Christmas Buc-ee's beaver.
Huh.
Like, never
Well.
seen it. I love it.
Anyways, I think out of us, I was the only guy that had ever been to a Buc-ee's because we have one in Kentucky now, and it's
What?
like it's a legit one. It's huge.
Really?
So these guys on this trip were like, we got to go to a Buc-ee's. Like, I've heard so much about them. I've heard like they have the cleanest bathrooms. They're huge, whatever. So
Hey, these guys are behind the.
we are driving to the Airbnb. We have a longer drive after we get off the flight. We stop at one Buc-ee's, and it's like the size of a BP. So it's not really the experience. It's got like 6 pumps. It's not really a Buc-ee's.
Wait, what? I've never seen a
We
Buc-ee's
go
like that.
in, just use the restroom, buy a drink, and a school bus pulls up, and like 50 middle school or high school cheerleaders get out and are just flooding this place. So we get out of there. We leave. Still haven't really experienced a Buc-ee's because anyone that knows, like, they didn't even have like the fresh brisket station or
What
like
the
the
heck?
home
I've
decor
never seen that.
or like the big clean bathrooms. So these guys are like harping on the bathrooms in the car. They're like, we got to find one. Like, I've heard the bathrooms are sick, like super clean.
The heck? Why are
Whatever.
they
Oh no,
harping
they're
on-
sick. I mean, they're not. It's
That's just what
nice.
they've heard about it. You know, when you've
They're
only,
nice,
when
but
you've
I'm not
never
gonna
been.
go out of my way to.
No, but like when you think about a gas station bathroom, Buc-ee's
Yeah,
is top of the
definitely,
list
yeah.
in
Well,
terms
of course,
cleanliness. Anyways, we go the whole trip. We don't go to another one until we're driving back to the airport, and we stop on the way because we have like a longer drive back. So we need gas and we want like a snack or whatever. So they stop at a Buc-ee's, and this is like a legit big one. And they're like, we just have to pee. And so let's go here. Again, they're talking about these bathrooms being so clean. I want to preface this with, in the moment, this is a sad situation. In the hindsight, you can see why this is funny given the information that I've led up with.
Oh no.
We go into this Buc-ee's. We walk into the bathroom. There is an elderly man only in his underwear on this dirty floor on his hands and knees, bloody. And he's like at the entrance of a stall, and there's like workers around him trying to, I don't know if he overdosed or what happened, but he had blood like dripping down his arms, and he was like basically naked on his hands and knees on this floor. Now,
There's only employees around him.
there were like 2 employees with like kind of a radio trying to figure out what to do to get this man up and dressed and out of here without really like touching, you know.
They're like, we need Bucky EMTs. They have like a
Now-
whole. It's a whole town inside.
In the moment, I wasn't having the thought of what I've been telling you. So I was kind of in the moment. I was like, oh, this is sad. What's going on with this guy? Like, he was older and looked out of it, and I'm kind of felt pretty bad for this guy. And then by the time we pee and whatever, he's like stood up and they're trying to get him clothed and whatever. But we walked in, he was on all fours. And when we left, I was just, all I could think of was these guys were so hyped to go to the cleanest gas station bathroom they've ever heard of. And there was a man just like going to war in
Bloody
that
old
bathroom.
man, yeah.
And it was one of the dirtier looking bathrooms I've ever seen. So I hope that man's doing all right. Seemed to be doing better by the time we were done peeing. But
Yeah. So
I still don't feel like they've gotten the full experience.
did he just go into the stall and then come out naked? What was that? What was the plan?
After that's awful. After that, you're just like, I could really go. For
I don't
some
know if he
brisket
was
right
doing.
now.
I don't know when the clothes came
Yeah.
off. I don't know if he was like doing drugs in the bathroom,
Wait, why
and
are you
fell
assuming
and
it's an overdose?
busted his
Oh, okay.
arm. I don't know if he like
It's like overdosing doesn't make you bleed from your arms.
maybe got his. Well,
guess if he
he
fell, I
looked
know.
like the way he was kind of on the ground, like kind of looked like he was in some form of intoxication.
Oh, okay.
It didn't look like he was all there.
These people after that are walking out of they're walking out of the bathrooms. The freaking people are like, "Fresh brisket on the board," and they're crying. Everyone's crying. Everyone's like running out. They're just like, "Fresh brisket on the
The
board."
EMTs are like running.
There's just like
EMTs are grabbing
a
brisket.
bloody man walking out, and there's just like a big beaver mask out there. Just like, yo, what did we walk into? I feel bad. I hope that guy's all right. But in hindsight, I was like,
Yeah.
these guys are so hyped for this bath. Anyways,
Megan, do you have a get to know the bros for us today?
I hope so.
Do you have them stacked up?
I had a few like on a list, but I don't know if we've used them. Hold on.
Fresh brisket on the board.
fresh brisket on board. Is that what they're saying?
On the board.
On the board. It's like on the cutting board, I think,
Like they're putting out fresh.
to cut it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be
It's
hot.
like a whole slab of brisket on the cutting board so they can like
Yeah.
chop it up.
I've never been in a Buc-ee's where there weren't over 100 people in there.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I mean, there's like
Like your shoulder to
ton
shoulder.
of people
Yeah.
in there all the time.
Though there was still, I was going to say when we went in that one time at like 1 a.m.
Even the small one, there were 50 plus cheerleaders.
When we went in that one at like 1 a.m., there was not, I don't think there was 100 people in there. No, there was not. But there was still a decent amount of people in
Aren't
there.
people?
Oh, when I just downed that energy drink and
Yeah, and
What
we
all did I
split a
get?
brisket. We ate the brisket sandwich in the parking lot. We were so
brisket
hungry.
sandwich, energy
That's
drink,
what everyone does. What do
and
you
a
mean?
fruit cup or something.
We just downed it.
Everyone's eating it in the parking lot.
yeah.
We were
Goodness.
standing
Dude,
at the
when
gas
I-
pump and ate the
When
whole
I
thing.
went down to when I drove down to Florida. Sorry, this is a side note. We can get to another bros. When I drove down to Florida for that contract work a couple years ago by myself, I stopped at a Buc-ee's, bought like a brisket sandwich, some chips, fruit cup, peanuts, and I like hadn't eaten in forever. And I say forever. It was like I stayed at a hotel one night, so it was like I split up the drive, and so I like didn't eat breakfast. And then it was like my lunch or something, and I literally just sat in the parking lot in my car and it was just like chowing down on all this stuff. And there were just like 100 people past me, obviously, because that place is so busy. Anyway, it felt awkward. I feel like I hate just like sitting in my car and
eating in your car.
Anyway,
We were lucky. I have one question left that I stacked up.
Let's go.
wow. Last step.
What was your favorite vacation and why?
I know this immediately.
Go ahead.
Our family vacation to Charleston.
Were we there?
Which one?
I think you were there.
It was.
I mean, I would've.
It was Folly Beach, right?
We
We've
stayed.
been twice, but Blake was up for one of them.
Sorry,
So-
technically we stayed in Folly Beach, I believe, but
Was I there?
I think you were, but most of my maybe not. Most of my memories.
The first
you're
time
not
we
in it.
went, obviously we were younger, but we went fishing.
Yes,
There was
that
one
one.
time. Was it the
Blake,
time
they
that-
were not there.
No,
Was
yeah,
it
that
the
was
time
the
that you and
first
your
time.
dad tried to ride bikes out to that lighthouse and fish, but it was like so far away?
Was that the
That
same?
was the second time.
And we stood at the van, and you and
Okay,
your dad were trying to figure out
I'm-
if you
okay.
could fit the bikes in the van, and it was
Okay,
not
When
gonna
we did the
fit.
fishing trip on the boat.
Okay, wait. I was I'm pushing those together then. I'm merging those in my brain.
Yeah, for sure.
So was the first one...
Why is it your favorite trip? And then
Well, I was actually talking about this like a month or two ago with Lacey. I think the reason why that one is my favorite trip that we've been on is because that's the one that I have the most like bigger memories of. Like all the other trips, they were great and I had a good time, but there's not like, oh my gosh, yeah, and we did that, or like that one time, or like there's just more like core memories from those trips. For example, the fishing, the one, again, I guess those are 2 trips then, but like I was thinking of multiple things, like when I fished with my dad, and then when we went on that fishing guide, and that was like the nicest fishing guide I've ever had.
Yeah.
I don't love to go on guides anyway, just because, not that like I think I can catch them more, because I cannot, but I just feel like guides can sometimes be kind of like going through the motions because they do it so often, and they're just like, if they can't find the fish, then they're like frustrated,
Yeah.
and then, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But
and
but
we caught
yeah,
a lot
so
of fish.
loved that. And yeah, and the fishing was like great. And then like the haunted prison that me and
that
Jesse
was the
went
second
through.
time.
That was
Yeah.
when I was there.
That was the
That
second
was
time.
okay. And then so like the haunted mansion, and then
This guy's just merging vacations.
sorry, they were
He
both
just
to the
likes
same
that
place.
place.
They're both to the same place, but
You were
But-
low key
but-
scared though.
even the no, I was. We can talk. Haven't we already talked about it?
Maybe we did.
I think I did. Anyway, that, and then like just this like walking around the city and like eating was sick.
Yeah, I love Charleston.
I love Charleston.
Yeah, it was super
Charleston's
cool.
really cool. You got the market right there downtown.
Yeah.
And if you like shopping, they have like
Yeah, they
every
have good
store. It
shopping.
seems like
Right.
food is super good.
Yeah, the place is cool.
Man, I was torn because I almost want to pick Jackson Hole Yellowstone because I
sounds
really
amazing.
liked that one.
This isn't fair. You've been to way more places than I have. In fact, multiple places that are like bucket list places for me.
My favorite place though.
Yellowstone, Hawaii.
Oh, I forgot about Hawaii.
Forgot about your honeymoon.
Our honeymoon?
Crazy.
Yeah, I have to go with this though. I love Kiowa.
I knew you were going to pick you.
The first time we went to Kiowa, especially, we've been a couple times now, but the first time was just awesome. Like the house that we stayed in, the layout was like really unique, but like I felt like we had a big group because it was my whole family, and like the middle floor area was like really open with the kitchen and the living room. So I felt like it was just a good place for us all to hang out. And they had like kind of a TV room off that. So we would like go in there and watch either a movie, or like we watched a lot of like Family Feud, and it was just good memories and fun. It was also like, we've golfed on other vacations, but it was like the first time they're like, this is like a golf destination as well. So like the golfing was just amazing. And so like that becoming like a bigger part of the vacation was fun.
Dang, so you would choose that over Hawaii? I'm not even saying like that it was your honeymoon. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I loved Hawaii too. Hawaii, like your honeymoon is really special in some ways, where it's one of my favorite, but it's also like
I wasn't trying
not
to
the
joke about
best
that,
in
though.
some ways, because we just got married and we had no money and we couldn't do everything we wanted to do. And so it's still one of my favorite vacations, just because it's the first time Megan and I went on a vacation, the two of us, and
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about that though.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
No, and
Hawaii in
Maui's
general.
it was a ton of
Great.
fun. But Hawaii was sick too. Like
Yeah,
I
Maui's
want to go
great.
there so bad.
the good and the bad of it is that there's like a pretty decent time change. It's like 6 hours, and so you're jet lagged, which is bad in a way because you're getting tired very early, but it's good in a way because we would wake up so early that we would beat everyone to the beaches. And so we had like a couple hours each morning where it was just us on
It
the
doesn't
beach.
make sense to me. I'm like, aren't there?
Which is
other
the other
people
thing I
that
love
are
about
jet lagged?
Kiowa is because
Yeah,
it
you
is like
think.
this
I mean, there would be
private-
other people, but not many.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about Kiowa, is that because it is like a private island, both times we've gone, when we go to the beach, like with the family, there's not another person within a couple hundred yards of us. And so it's kind of like we have the beach to ourselves.
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
like
times.
randomly
which is
someone
awesome.
will like walk their dog past you, and that's
I've
like
always
the only
been
people.
I like the white fluffy sand like you get in Florida, but I think I'm switching on that because I think it's cool. Whatever. The downside, it's more messy, and especially with kids, it like sticks to everything. It sticks to Evelyn. You can't take your eye off of her because she'll touch her face, and now she's got sand in her eye or her mouth, and it's a disaster. You can't ride bikes on it. Like with the matted down sand, like in Carolina, you can just like ride your bike all along the beach, which is nice. Like if you want to go for a sunset bike ride or something, like it is nice.
Or like I said, people are walking their dog on the beach because you don't like sink down into the.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Or we played soccer. You kick a soccer ball
you can
all
like
the way
kick a
down the
ball on
beach.
it. If you try to kick a ball in the fluffy sand, like
Yeah, I've been to
it's
the
like,
Carolinas.
yeah, I know. I'm just like talking through it. So
Okay. It's like, I was like, tell me more. What is it like?
tell me what sand. Like I never
feel
liked
like
What does
sand.
sand feel like?
I
never
feel like I
liked
didn't
sand.
remember it
Name that
being
movie.
like that as much on Folly Beach though.
Coarse, rough.
I
It's
remember
everywhere.
in parts. Like I think there were some parts that were.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like I felt like Kiowa.
I remember we played games though, like where mom brought like different games where we had to like roll different. Like what was that one?
Like bocce ball or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She bought like a little set or something where you could do that because of the sand. But you can also do that on
Yeah, it's just harder.
other sand too. It's just different.
I don't know. I'd recommend any of them. They got fluffy sand in Maui, and we still love that. It's funny, like the stuff that you would never think about until you have kids, and you're like, this is more of a hassle now. Like,
Yeah.
And we
it's
went,
harder to pull her in a wagon. It's like I'm carrying so much crap down to the beach. So like we went to Florida this year, and the beaches were so packed that we would have to like walk 100 yards to find an open spot, and I'm like carrying all this stuff and carrying Evelyn, and
Right.
then when you get there, you can't even relax because she's gonna
putting stuff
harm
in her
herself
mouth,
if
crying,
you don't.
freaking out.
And you can't you don't want her to get too hot. You don't want her to be directly in the sun too much. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the ideal vacation is anymore.
We went to the beach.
Then
we were
I
there
could
for
say
2
mountains,
weeks.
but then it's like, what are we going to do in the mountains? We couldn't take her hiking in the snow like we did.
They took Forrest.
Yeah, I guess we could. No, they literally had like a tent backpack where it looked like Kronk
cool.
and
Yzma.
Yzma. No, literally where it had like Forrest would sit where he's like this high and he's got like a tent over him.
What?
Yeah,
Like on Jordan's shoulders.
And then we would just hike on the trails, and so yeah, I guess you could.
Jordan was just like,
Yeah, but she'd only like that for a little bit, and then
Yeah. I feel like Ev would go
probably. I don't
crazy.
know. It's just tough with kids. Disney was also a good vacation, but
Love
again,
Disney.
we went just us without a kid. I think it'd be cool with a kid at the right age, but it was really cool with just 2 adults doing whatever they want.
yeah, no kids.
it was really nice because then it's just like you get to do whatever you want, eat when you want, ride what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice, except we definitely had COVID, even though the test was negative, and we just were sneezing into our masks the whole time, and it was disgusting.
You had masks on when you were there?
Yeah.
We
that
had
was the
whenever
bad
we were
thing about it.
inside anywhere, you had to wear them.
That
But
kind of
you're
sucks.
inside a lot of places.
Yeah. That kind of
Like if you're like a lot of rides, the waiting is inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
All
glad
right, well,
I don't
episode-
have kids yet.
Episode 47. Like and subscribe. We're on our way. Again, our goal is to hit 500 subscribers by the end of the year, so that we have the option to keep this train rolling in some form or fashion.
Because if not, we stop.
If not, we stop. So like and subscribe. Tell a friend. And for the one person that unsubscribed this week, don't do that.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Number went down, I think, at one point. Stop doing that.
We don't even notice that. Don't even
Stop doing that.
He's just guessing. We don't pay attention to that.
Yeah. We don't care about the numbers.
The
but
number
like
is
and
too high
subscribe.
for us to even see that.
Yeah. Do you think like Joe Rogan notices when one person unsubscribes?
No, which is why I'm trying to save us right now.
All right. Hey, episode 47. Out.